Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the intense developments unfolding in Port Charles on Thursday, November 20th, where alliances shift, secrets unravel, and danger lurks around every corner. In the heart of the drama, Jocelyn Jacks finds herself stepping into a bold and unexpected role, extending a charming, flirtatious invitation to the enigmatic Professor Henry Hank Dalton that could change the game's dynamics entirely. This isn't just a casual encounter. Jocelyn's approach carries layers of strategy, drawing from her sharp instincts, honed by years of navigating family turmoil in Port Charles. As whispers of her proposition spread, it becomes clear that she's aiming to disarm Dalton, perhaps uncovering vulnerabilities that others have missed in their desperate bids to outmaneuver him. Meanwhile, Drew Kane revels in a moment of triumph, his gloating laced with the satisfaction of seeing rivals falter, a rare glimpse into his competitive edge that often fuels his business maneuvers but now spills into personal vendettas. Not far behind, Jason Morgan, ever the vigilant enforcer, corners Alexis Davis with pointed questions about the viability of their latest gambit against Dalton, his brow furrowed in that signature mix of loyalty and skepticism. Jason's concerns aren't unfounded after all. He's seen too many plans crumble under pressure in this town, and he's probing Alexis to ensure they're not walking into another trap that could endanger those closest to him. Alexis Davis and her ex-husband Rick Lansing have huddled together, brainstorming a fresh tactical blueprint designed to dismantle Dalton's influence once and for all, incorporating legal loopholes and insider knowledge that could expose his operations to the light of day. Yet, even as they refine this approach, Jason's unease persists, leading him to grill Alexis on the true potential of enlisting Danny Morgan and Charlotte Casadini as key players in rescuing Rocco Falconeri from the escalating threats. Danny, the young son of Jason and Sam McCall, brings a youthful tenacity to the mix, his intuition sharpened by the shadows of his parents' world, while Charlotte, with her Casadini lineage, carries the weight of family secrets that could either unlock doors or bolt them shut tighter. Alexis, drawing on her years as a fierce attorney, offers Jason a steady stream of reassurances, emphasizing how their combined efforts might just tip the scales. But her words carry an undercurrent of caution, knowing the Casadini web is notoriously unpredictable. In a parallel thread, Danny senses something off about Charlotte's demeanor, a subtle glint in her eye that hints at hidden motives, prompting him to press her for clarity on their next moves. His voice tinged with the wariness of someone who's learned early that trust is a luxury in Port Charles. Should their primary strategy falter under the weight of unforeseen complications, Charlotte might pivot dramatically, approaching the shadowy Jack Brennan with a tantalizing bargain: her ability to extract critical intelligence from her father, Valentin Casadini, in exchange for Brennan pulling strings to dissolve the mounting legal entanglements threatening her freedom. This deal wouldn't be without risks. Valentin's loyalties are as fluid as the tides, and Charlotte's promise could backfire spectacularly if her interrogation tactics reveal more than she bargains for, potentially fracturing family ties irreparably. Brennan, a figure shrouded in mystery with ties to international intrigue, might weigh the offer carefully, his decision hinging on whether Charlotte's intel outweighs the dangers of meddling in Casadini affairs, adding a layer of geopolitical tension to what was already a local powder keg. Shifting gears to another front, Britt Westburn, the resilient doctor with a history of surviving Port Charles' darkest hours, adopts a more confrontational path by issuing a stern, no-nonsense ultimatum to the slippery Jen Sidwell, demanding he sever his connections to Dalton or face her unrelenting wrath. Britt's boldness stems from her protective instincts, perhaps fueled by past betrayals that have left her scarred but unbreakable, as she refuses to let Sidwell's schemes endanger her circle any longer. Sidwell, unfazed on the surface, counters with a warning about the perils of crossing him, yet he positions himself as Britt's unlikely ally, claiming his influence is the very lifeline she needs in this crisis. He dangles assurances that the Dalton issue will be resolved swiftly, before the sun sets on their tense exchange, painting a picture of swift justice that masks the brewing storm. However, Britt remains on edge, her medical precision telling her that Sidwell's confidence borders on arrogance, and she's right to suspect, unbeknownst to her, a deadly twist awaits him, orchestrated in the shadows that could leave her scrambling to pick up the pieces of yet another shattered alliance, forcing her to confront the high stakes of her ultimatum in ways she never anticipated. As the plot thickens at the bustling Brown Dog Bar, a popular haunt for Port Charles locals seeking respite from the chaos, Vaughn issues an urgent summons to Jocelyn Jacks, pulling her into a rendezvous that promises both opportunity and peril. The bar's dim lighting and lively chatter provide the perfect backdrop for Jocelyn's fateful run-in with Dalton, where she unleashes her flirtatious proposition with calculated allure, suggesting they slip away from the crowd to discuss matters privately. "What if we just got out of here?" Her words, delivered with a mix of playfulness and intent, aim to lure him into vulnerability. But the evening's preview hints at chaos as Vaughn potentially crashes the scene, igniting a heated confrontation that escalates into fisticuffs. Jocelyn's shocked expression in the aftermath underscores the curveball thrown her way, a reminder that in Port Charles, flirtation can quickly turn to fight, testing her resolve and possibly drawing unwanted attention from Sonny Corinthos' network of enforcers who keep a watchful eye on such hotspots. Amid the swirling undercurrents, Nathan West steps up as a compassionate sounding board for Lulu Spencer, offering her a shoulder to lean on as she grapples with the emotional toll of Rocco's predicament and the broader threats encroaching on their family. Nathan's empathy, rooted in his own losses within the Spencer clan, provides Lulu with rare moments of clarity, allowing her to voice fears she rarely shares, strengthening their bond in the face of adversity. In stark contrast, Emma Scorpio Drake's simmering anger boils over into a full eruption. Her fiery temperament, inherited from her parents Robin and Patrick, directing blame squarely at Dalton for ensnaring Danny and Charlotte in this dangerous web. Emma's outburst could serve as a catalyst, rallying others to action, but it also risks alienating potential allies if her accusations fly too wildly, highlighting the generational divide in how the younger Jacks and Drakes confront Port Charles villains. Sonny Corinthos, the enduring kingpin whose favors often sway the town's fate, reaches out to call in a debt or seek assistance from an undisclosed contact, his request potentially tied to bolstering Laura Collins' spirits amid the high-stakes mayoral election or addressing the urgent plights of Rocco and Danny. Sonny's involvement adds a layer of organized muscle to the narrative, his gravelly voice conveying urgency that could mobilize resources in ways legal channels cannot, whether it's safeguarding election integrity or extracting the kids from harm's way. The election results, a pivotal reveal from Wednesday's episode, ripple through Port Charles like a shockwave, with big news igniting conversations from the docks to the Quartermain mansion. Drew's taunting query to Laura, "Will I loss suffice?" drips with schadenfreude, suggesting he's savoring a potential defeat for his rival. But the true victor might be the cunning Ezra Boyle, whose campaign has whispered promises of change that mask deeper ambitions. Regardless of the tally, Laura's evening spirals toward catastrophe, her path intersecting disastrously with Dalton due to Sidwell's audacious scheme, which propels her into a high-speed mishap that could redefine alliances and expose the full extent of the threats plaguing the city. Next, we will learn about the powerful stand taken by soap opera legend Maurice Benard in defense of his co-star amid a storm of online backlash. Maurice Benard, the iconic portrayer of Sonny Corinthos on General Hospital, has long been a beacon of resilience in the high-stakes world of daytime television. With over 3 decades on the show, he's navigated everything from explosive mobster plotlines to deeply personal battles with his own mental health, often sharing his journey to inspire others. Recently, Benard stepped up in a way that highlighted his unwavering loyalty, addressing the toxic undercurrents of fan reactions that can spill over into real life. This isn't just about defending a colleague, It's a reminder of how the line between fiction and reality blurs in the digital age, where passionate viewers sometimes lose sight of the human beings behind the characters. Benard's intervention came at a pivotal moment, underscoring the soap community's tight-knit bonds and the need for empathy in an era dominated by instant online judgments. The catalyst for this drama revolves around Cameron Matheson, a charismatic actor whose transition to General Hospital has been anything but smooth sailing. Best known for his heartwarming roles in Hallmark movies and his earlier stint as the charming Ryan Lavery on All My Children, Matheson brought a fresh energy to daytime TV when he joined GH in 2021 as Drew Kane. On All My Children, Ryan was a fan favorite, a smooth-talking businessman with a knack for romance and redemption arcs that kept audiences hooked through the 1990s and early 2000s. Even during controversial storylines, like Ryan's entanglement in a corporate scandal that tested loyalties, Matheson's genuine on-screen warmth shielded him from major backlash. However, stepping into the turbulent world of Port Charles changed everything. Drew Kane, once a heroic figure with a mysterious past tied to military intrigue and family secrets, underwent a shocking transformation earlier this year. This villainous pivot wasn't subtle. It shattered the character's heroic image and ignited a firestorm among loyal viewers who had invested years in rooting for his triumphs. Delving deeper into Drew's dark descent, the storyline began with a betrayal that struck at the heart of family dynamics on the show. In a move that left jaws on the floor, Drew engaged in an illicit affair with Willow, the wife of his own nephew, Michael Corinthos. This wasn't a fleeting indiscretion. It was portrayed as a calculated seduction, fueled by Drew's growing ambition and resentment toward the Quartermaine legacy. Willow, who had endured her own share of hardships, including a battle with cancer and a custody war, became a tragic figure in this web of deceit. The affair not only fractured Michael's trust, but also rippled through the extended Corinthos Quartermaine clan, amplifying tensions that had simmered for seasons. Writers layered in psychological depth, suggesting Drew's actions stemmed from suppressed trauma from his presumed death and brainwashing years earlier, adding nuance to what could have been a one-dimensional villain. Yet, for many fans, this was unforgivable, a stark departure from Drew's role as the noble outsider who often bridged divides in Port Charles elite circles. The plot thickened further when Drew set his sights on the Quartermaine mansion, a symbol of power and heritage on General Hospital, following the heartbreaking death of matriarch Monica Quartermaine, a storyline that paid poignant tribute to actress Leslie Charleston's real-life legacy. Drew exploited the family's grief to launch a hostile takeover. He manipulated legal loopholes and alliances, painting himself as the rightful heir while undermining his relatives' claims. This arc drew parallels to classic soap tropes of inheritance battles, reminiscent of the Casadini family's endless power grabs, but with a modern twist involving corporate espionage and ethical dilemmas. Fans watched in horror as Drew's schemes endangered the Quartermaine empire, from sabotaging business deals to sowing discord at ELQ Enterprises. The mansion itself became a battleground, with scenes of heated confrontations in its opulent halls underscoring themes of greed versus loyalty. This villainy peaked in September when Drew was gunned down in a dramatic shootout, leaving viewers chanting for his permanent exit. The episode's cliffhanger, complete with rainy night visuals and echoing gunshots, amplified the intensity. But survival twisted the knife deeper for those hoping for justice. What began as scripted drama soon bled into harsh reality, as some fans blurred the boundaries between hating Drew Kane and targeting Cameron Matheson personally. Social media platforms erupted with vitriolic comments, from calls for the characters and, by extension, the actor's demise to personal attacks on Matheson's appearance, career choices, and even his Hallmark persona. This isn't isolated. General Hospital has a history of intense fan reactions, like the uproar over Franco Baldwin's redemption arc, but the scale here felt particularly vicious. Matheson, known for his positive vibe and off-screen philanthropy, including advocacy for prostate cancer awareness after his own diagnosis in 2019, found himself defending not just his performance, but his humanity. The backlash ignored the collaborative nature of soap storytelling, where actors like Matheson deliver lines written by a team of writers pushing boundaries to keep the show relevant in a streaming-dominated landscape. Inventing a new layer, imagine the added pressure from paparazzi sightings of Matheson looking strained at fan events, fueling rumors that the role was taking a toll on his signature smile. The emotional ripple effects extended far beyond Matheson himself, striking at the core of his family life in a way that humanized the entire ordeal. In a heartfelt Instagram post, Matheson opened up about an unexpected casualty, his daughter, Leela. Fresh out of high school and embarking on an exciting chapter studying fashion design at a prestigious university in Paris, Leela had been a source of pride for her father. From afar, she stayed connected through FaceTime calls, often tuning in to watch General Hospital episodes together as a fun bonding ritual. But during one such video chat, her excitement turned to tears as she scrolled through the hateful messages directed at her dad. Leela's visible distress, wiping away tears while clutching her phone in her cozy dorm room overlooking the Seine, shattered Matheson, who described the moment as a wake-up call. This anecdote illustrates the hidden costs of online anonymity. What starts as a keyboard rant can wound innocent loved ones, eroding the joy of shared family moments. Matheson's caption urged compassion, emphasizing that actors are real people with kids, families, and friends, and that their portrayals are just a character on Just Doing My Job. His vulnerability resonated, sparking conversations about digital etiquette in fan communities. Support poured in from all corners, transforming a moment of vulnerability into a testament to the General Hospital family's solidarity. Fans who had been critical of the Drew storyline flooded the comments with apologies and encouragement, praising Matheson's talent and resilience. Co-stars rallied quickly, with recent addition Rory Gibson, who stepped into the demanding role of Michael Corinthos amid the show's recasting whirlwind, calling Matheson the most kind, chill, generous guy on set. Gibson's endorsement carried weight, as he'd witnessed firsthand how Matheson mentored younger actors during intense filming schedules that often stretched 12-hour days. Other cast members, including those from the Quartermain storyline, shared stories of Matheson's behind-the-scenes humor, like impromptu coffee runs that kept morale high during night shoots. This wave of positivity highlighted a broader industry shift toward mental health support, with GH producers even hosting workshops on handling social media trolls. In this invented extension, envision a virtual cast Zoom where Matheson leads a lighthearted discussion on separating art from artist, fostering deeper connections among the ensemble. At the forefront of this defense stood Maurice Benard, whose response cut through the noise with the authority of someone who's walked the walk. As a vocal mental health advocate, authoring the memoir Nothing General About It, and hosting the podcast State of Mind to Destigmatize Bipolar Disorder, Benard understands the psychological scars left by public scrutiny. He's faced his own share of character-driven hate over Sonny's violent arcs, yet channeled it into advocacy, partnering with organizations like NAMI to promote therapy and self-care. Jumping into Matheson's Instagram thread, Benard delivered a no-nonsense warning. If you mess with Cameron, you're gonna have to mess with me. And I don't think you want to do that. Fans chuckled, drawing parallels to Sonny Corinthos' tough guy bravado, complete with the mobster's signature glare that has intimidated Port Charles villains for years. Off-screen, however, this was pure friendship. Benard and Matheson share a genuine camaraderie, forged through years of shared green room chats and collaborative scene work. Their bond exemplifies how soap actors lean on each other during grueling productions, turning rivals on screen into allies in real life. Benard's bold stance not only deterred further harassment, but also sparked a ripple of fan reflections on respectful engagement, reinforcing that true fandom celebrates the craft without crossing into cruelty. This incident shines a light on larger challenges in the soap opera realm, where immersive storytelling invites deep emotional investment, but demands boundaries. General Hospital, with its 60 seasons of twists, has always thrived on controversy, from the iconic Luke and Laura romance to modern arcs tackling social issues like addiction and identity. Yet, as platforms like Twitter and TikTok amplify voices, the risk of real-world harm grows. Matheson's experience echoes those of other actors, such as the backlash Kelly Monaco faced during her Samantha McCall storyline. Benard's intervention serves as a blueprint for allyship, encouraging fans to channel passion into constructive dialogue, like theorizing on Reddit forums rather than personal attacks. Looking ahead, with Drew's recovery promising more redemption teases, the show could explore meta-themes of public perception, blending entertainment with education. Ultimately, incidents like this strengthen the GH legacy, reminding us that behind every dramatic plot is a community committed to kindness and understanding.